Hello everyone, so I am going to make a series of videos on a specific character in this game. It's going to be the Embalmer. I realize that a lot of players are not playing him correctly or to the best of his ability in rank mode. So I'm just going to make a couple of videos hopefully and talk about certain play styles, certain maybe tips, or like maybe how to play him. I'm not really gonna go over what his skills do. You can check out other people's videos for that. So please just acquaint yourself with what he does, which basically is he summons a coffin. You can use it on yourself, you can use it on other people. And there are certain criteria that it meets, like you have to find the person and how many times the person died or were put on a chair affects whether or not they can be coffined. But yeah, I just realized that a lot of people are not playing him well in rank mode, which is why I'm coming out with these series of videos, hopefully, on how to get better at him. So at the beginning of the week, I have a character ranking of a C for him. And now, after a couple of days playing him, I am now rank 45, probably at A rank. Yeah, so I'm not a professional player. Disclaimer, I'm not professional. I'm only Mammoth 5. I'm not even Griffin yet. I don't play this game too often, but I just kind of really like this character, so I'm gonna put in some effort. And I see that there aren't many guides on YouTube right now on him. I know Civilian has one, and maybe another YouTuber came out with a pretty long one, but they mainly just talk about what his abilities do, how to use them. There isn't much about the tactics or the theory and the practice of using this character. So that's what I'm gonna go over. So yeah. So a common way that players play Embalmer in rank is what I call the lone wolf style. It's basically you look out for yourself. You use the coffin only for your own purposes. Once the game starts, you put it down. Then you run and you go and do your thing. You start ciphering. You start kiting, and you only you can end the game, and that coffin will still be on you. Is something wrong with that? No, not really. Especially if you're a solo ranker, where you surviving is the most important thing. Right? There's nothing wrong with that, except there are certain times where I feel like the Embalmer should have used the coffin on anyone else. If you just kept it the whole game and you didn't use it, then that's just wasteful. And when I say by you kept it, I mean that you placed it on the ground, it's on your character, and you do nothing with it. Because you don't die, you don't go in the coffin, or you didn't go in a chair, but other people did. But yeah, so that's the lone wolf style, where you mainly focus on survival. You keep the coffin for yourself. And there are times where I feel like it's appropriate, especially if you have one teammate who dies way too fast in the game. Like the game just starts, within 10 seconds, that teammate goes down. And then within the first minute, you're down to either 2 or 3 teammates. That's pretty much when you have got to look out for yourself. You got to look for that dungeon. And you gotta focus on surviving, so that's totally fine. So one mistake that I see for a lot of players in rank is that once the game starts, they put down the coffin, and then they move around the map and whatever, and then they get caught, and then they get hit, and then they get put on a chair, and they go to the coffin, and then the hunter just chases down the coffin, hits them again, and then puts them in a chair again. So what just happened is that this Embalmer pretty much just wasted half of their time on the chair immediately. That's what happens when you use the first coffin on yourself. Instead of having the hunter camp you for maybe 30 seconds or so, the moment they hit you and put you on a chair, you're already at half. And then they chase down the coffin, they hit you again and put you back on. Now it's really hard for your teammates to save you at that point. So, and you pretty much just killed yourself. That is the biggest reason why I feel like embalmers should not use that first coffin on themselves. They should try their best to find someone and maybe embalm it to them instead, or you can maybe just hold on to the coffin, and maybe once you get caught and then someone saves you, then you have their face marked down and you can use one of the 2 coffins on that person, stay safe for the rest of the game, and then use the second coffin for yourself in case emergency if anything happens. So when this game started, all my teammates were kind of far away from me, so I kind of just went and did the closest cipher. I finished 1 cipher, then I went and looked for a teammate. I found the Mind's Eye, and that's perfect because I feel like I was really scared for Mind's Eye, and I was scared that she was gonna get caught and then no one would be able to save her. So I found her, and I have her marked, and I still have my coffin. We're about 3 ciphers left, and I still have my coffin, so that's pretty good. I didn't waste it. I didn't put it down somewhere far away and then start running around the map. So the problem is that once you put the coffin down, you run across to the other side of the map, and then you want to save someone, you can't because it's all the way on the other side of the map. So that's a benefit of carrying the coffin around with you and not using it immediately. So the whole game, I just kind of I found the safe spots. I put the coffin down, and I was waiting to see if anyone's gonna get hurt, because I don't want to give it to. Well, I gave it to the Mind's Eye anyway, but I was just in case, really scared that something's gonna happen to her, and it did. It eventually did pay off. So just keep watching. So until that scene comes where it pays off for putting a coffin in Mind's Eye, I just want to emphasize the point that as you're playing in rank mode, it is really important to have TideTurner. Like, there are so many times people they either come save me or they go and save a teammate and they don't have TideTurner, and then they rescue the person and then they just die. Like, that's just a waste of time. If you don't have the TideTurner, don't go save the person. I have TideTurner. I could save the person and guarantee them to last at least for the next 15 seconds, and that buys time for someone to finish the cipher, or they can run around and distract a hunter, something like that. So once again, the main point of this video, at least, is that I want people to be aware to use their coffin, their first coffin, on another teammate. Bring TideTurner with you into the game and actually go and help people. Like, there were times where the other embalmer, or like their embalmer, I'm playing Seer or I'm playing something else, and they have the coffin embalmed on themselves, and then the exit gate is open and they don't come and save your teammate. They just leave. Like, you have a coffin on you, and you spent the whole game with the coffin on you, and you just leave in the end of the game and you don't save anyone. And I feel like that's not the best way to play the character. I mean, if you're solo and you want to survive and get the character knowledge points, sure, but in the end that was still at best either a loss or a tie. If I suicided or if I sacrificed myself for the other 3 players to live, fine, that's totally okay. But don't just put the coffin in yourself and run away for the game. So once again, all of these videos are me playing solo, and I'm usually rank. Some of the clips are from normal games, but the point is that I'm not playing with any teammates. I'm not communicating with them on Discord or anything. You just have to have a sense of awareness of where people are, what they're doing, and you need to work together without communication to rescue each other and survive. because now the mind's eye went down, and then she's gonna get revived, and then the moment she gets revived, I get to place the second coffin down and use it for myself. And I feel like this is very important. This should be how embalmers in ranked mode should be playing. They shouldn't just keep the coffin on themselves the whole game and make sure themselves get away. Like, it just, you want to have at least one other player, right, to make it a tie, or if possible have two players make it as well. So you want to use your coffin to the best advantage as possible, and that's getting multiple coffins and for other players. Now watch here where I use the coffin. I use it strategically right by the door. So I put it down the coffin, and I knew that I was gonna get hit, so I just ran around a bit, and if he didn't pick me up, I was just gonna crawl my ass at the door or revive myself and then walk my butt to the door. But now that he puts me on a chair, I knew that my coffin was going to be there by the door, and I had enough time from the TideTurner from the coffin where if he hits me, I would still make it through that gate if it was opened. And it was open, and he didn't even hit me, so yeah, wasted my TideTurner. But yeah, we made it live. And because I used two coffins, that's why me and the mind's eye were able to get away. So here I'm decoding, and then I see that the perfumer got hit. And that's basically when I stopped decoding, I used the coffin that I held on to, and then I would mark the perfumer to make sure the perfumer got away. And then I believe the perfumer eventually goes down and then uses the coffin. But basically, this would be another appropriate time to use your coffin. So instead of, once the game starts, you use your coffin immediately on yourself. You hold on to the coffin. You try to find as many teammates as possible, so you mark them all. And then when you see that your kiter, the perfumer or the seer or whoever, the kiter gets hurt, that's when you drop down the coffin, and then you mark it on them just in case if they fall, if they get incapacitated, if they get put on a chair. Now, some people might say that it's better to just let them go on a chair the first time, and then after you rescue them, then you give them the coffin. That is also a very good idea, because that way you use your TideTurner, you save them. They have 15 seconds to get away, and then even if they don't get away, you run the other way, you use the coffin, and you can bring them from the chair to wherever you are, and hopefully both of you get away. That's also a good suggestion. So sometimes when the game starts, you start off at a really good spot. So for lakeside, you start off like by the boat or near the boat, on the boat. Hospital, you start out in the hospital and whatnot, so forth. So those are really good spots to put your coffin. So when the game starts, you kind of want to put your coffin down immediately, and that's basically what I did in this game. I put down the coffin, but the sad part was that one of my teammates was also on the boat, and then he gets caught, and then the hunter's on the boat now, and now I can't cipher this. My coffin is right there. If I get caught, I'm just gonna die. So that's where it gets a little troublesome. Now the good part was that I was able to save him, and we keep running around. He couldn't get away, so I just went back to finish ciphering that one, I guess. And I was just trying to see whether or not the hunter would wait to leave. So notice how some games I don't have the TideTurner, and that is a mistake. But I was just kind of playing around with different personas, whether going to the left side, the right side, or going bottom, and seeing in what scenario would they work better. Typically, usually the case, getting TideTurner is a must, and having a exit path, having the borrowed time is also must, because I'll explain it in the next video where I talk about borrowed time and why hunters don't pick you up. But having TideTurner to save teammates is pretty much the main core of being a team player embalmer. You're pretty much the mercenary or the coordinator. You want to get caught, you want to be put on the chair, you want to be saved again so you get a coffin and you can save your teammates again. That's basically the cycle of things you want to do as an embalmer. Save someone, get caught, get saved, save someone again with your coffin, basically. Yeah.